Hello there, Padawan learners, Jedi Masters, and lore legends. Welcome to the Bendu Podcast, where we talk all things Star Wars.
Welcome, everyone, to the Bendu Podcast. We haven't been here in a while, but we do also still seek balance in the Force, even after we haven't been live for like 3 weeks or something like that. Yeah, like pretty much a month. Yeah.
Since Kenobi ended.
Yeah, right. But we decided we got to talk about some stuff because there's some stuff about Andor that came out. A huge leak today with the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer that actually leaked and is still up on our YouTube. It has not been requested to be taken down, so that's awesome. Might be a little bit shorter podcast than usual because we're just going to go over a few little things there. But quick reminders, guys, if you like the podcast, you like the content, we got our Patreon set up for you guys to help support this thing, keep the lights on. We have our DMC-free Star Wars lo-fi beats that you can find on YouTube or Spotify or wherever. Use them in your videos, whatever you want to do, man. If you like Star Wars content, you want to make some stuff, use our beats. That's what it's there for. But yeah, tonight, I think we should probably start, maybe, guys, with Mando. What do you guys think? I mean, it was pretty legit. This trailer, which I have pulled up from our YouTube page, but yeah, I was watching this trailer, man, and there's just so much goodness. I'm just gonna kind of let it play as we talk, but there's so much goodness that we can talk about here because, man, is it action packed?
Yeah, we got space battles and land battles and Babu Frick and all sorts of stuff.
We have,
a drop ship
I'll
like
be
that?
honest,
That was pretty cool.
I forgot to watch it.
That's all right.
I pulled
You
a
watch
Josh.
Right
I know.
Yeah, you pulled a Josh tonight. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot.
Armor actually using her hammer and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Like, and then passing it along also to Vizsla. Did you see that? Like, handing that off to the other Vizsla, and just like the fight scenes that you see and everything that you're seeing here, it's just like, dude, like, man, it like here you go. We got full screen will be a little better, but man, it looks interesting. You see Grogu kind of flying a little bit there, and at the start, and is that Mandalore? It looks like Mandalore, like inside the dome. So.
Is there much left inside the dome? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. But what's really interesting, like that looks like a Grogu-sized helmet. So, I mean, let me go back to it. Look how small it is. Hold on. Right.
I don't know.
I mean, where do his ears go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe there's little slots on the side for them to come out.
Can you imagine the merchandising with that?
Oh my gosh, dude. Dude, our emote that we have would be perfect because it's got the mule horns that pop out of the top of the helmet. So yeah, we got at least got that covered. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that looks like a Mandalorian size, like a Grogu sized
Mando helmet.
Yeah. So
he is a foundling officially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if he is officially not going to be a Jedi, so I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff in here. There looks like there's definitely going to be some kind of battle that takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Like
several,
maybe
probably.
maybe even between Mandalorian. Like this is the part I was talking about. Like she is handing that to Vizsla, so it's like. What does that?
I mean, he's been with her for a long time. He was with her on the space station. He's been with her for a long time.
I wonder what that symbolizes.
I mean, I would assume he's apprenticing under her a little bit to learn how to forge Beskar.
Yeah, I mean, if he can forge it, that's going to be even better. Like maybe he's just giving it away, saying like, "You're the leader now." Like. I don't know. And this is what's interesting too. This like scene here is like, this looks like kind of Bo-Katan's group The
yeah,
Night
this is
Owls.
like straight out of Clone Wars, right? Didn't they have dropships like this in Clone Wars?
Yeah, like they're just dropping out, and it looks, that scene right there looks very similar, like the scenery, like it might be what we see at the start here with this battle that's taking
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, looks like Edge of Tomorrow though, jumping out of those dropships.
Yeah, but it just makes me wonder, man. Like, are we gonna see the Mandalorians fighting each other?
I mean, I would
Probably.
think Bo-Katan is fighting Armor for
I would, yeah.
control, or I mean, there's got to be something left of Mandalore for them to be there.
Yeah, and look who we have here,
Yep, Babu Frick.
Babu Frick. Yeah,
Or
How
at
does
least
he
his
do-
race, his species, at least.
I think he says his name. I think he actually says his name in it, like, or maybe he
Oh,
just does the hey like that, like. So it makes me wonder if we're gonna have some pretty deep connections here, because we also get to see basically a junkyard, like a junkyard that we see here. It looks like some type of junkyard or some type of assembly plant or something.
that looks like a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, exactly.
So that should be a decommissioned Star Destroyer, right? Should be.
Or it's a First Order one.
Exactly. Or it could be First Order, or maybe something bigger that we're starting to see here. Maybe this is even like the junkyard planet. Some people are saying, hey, is this where maybe Cal Kestis starts to come into live action? Because he has signed a contract, guys. Like, apparently that's the big deal, is the actor Cameron, I can't remember his last name now, but he did sign a contract for live action. So
Plot twist, he's not going to be Cal Kestis.
yeah,
No.
right. He's the Joker.
I mean, one thing I would like to see with the amount of stuff that Filoni and Favreau have been bringing into canon is World Devastators, because that was something that was so cool in Rogue Squadron, and that had to be in some of the books too, right? The World Devastators. Like, I remember, because I think that was a battle at near the end of the Rogue Squadron game on 64 with Mon Calamari.
Yeah.
Just like the remaining Moffs, like, I don't know how many years, I don't know what the timeline like that, what that looks like, but with this being 5 years after the fall of the Empire, I mean, you would think some remnants of the Empire would be around somewhat, and just to see a World Devastator roaming around would be pretty cool.
Maybe it's related to Thrawn.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be amazing. Like, if somehow that was Thrawn's, like, that was a ship that Ezra and them were on.
Although I bet they'll save that for Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
But there could be teasers of Ahsoka in this as well, to lead it up.
I mean, you could have Luke in this. You could have Ahsoka in this. You could have Ezra. You could have Cal. You could have Thrawn. I mean, to me, I feel like that Filoni is introducing new offshoots of story through Mando, because it's like the one thing that everybody's gravitated to, So I don't know.
What's Kanan's and Hera's kid's name?
Oh man, I can't remember now.
How old is he supposed to be at this point? Like 6 or 7?
Yeah, he's not that old.
So I mean, he could potentially go to Luke's academy as well.
And be slaughtered by Kylo.
Yeah, he gets killed by Kylo. Yeah. Or maybe he goes to Cal's academy, because maybe Cal set up one because he doesn't know about Luke or something, Because as far as we know, that he doesn't know anything about Luke. So, and what's going to happen in that timeline? We don't know if he even knows about Kenobi. Like, everyone was hoping he would show up in the Kenobi show, but
all he found was a list of younglings, right? Like, or potential Force users, right?
Yep, yeah. And he was going to use it, and decided not to after, kind of thinking through it in his Force vision he saw. Mm-hmm. So I'd probably do the same if I saw myself become my own Inquisitor.
That's the same kind of ability Sifo Dyas had, and Plo Koon had that too, right?
I think Sifo Dyas had it. The big one, God, who else was it? I think it was Sifo-Dyas, Cal Kestis. Was it Quinlan Vosk? That was the other.
Oh, that's
Quinlan
right. Okay.
Vosk had it. That's why he operated kind of as like a spy because
Right.
he was really good at tracking. I mean, that's why he was assigned to assassinate Dooku because he could basically, if he'd been anywhere, he could sense it through the Force by touching objects, you know. So, yeah. So, I mean, Quinlan Vosk had it. So it's apparently pretty rare. There's not a lot of Jedi that have it. So it's not like a mind trick where most Jedi can do a mind trick, you know. But yeah, I mean, this is I don't know, man. I mean, this looks like it's gonna make Mandalorian things even better, you know. We're getting some like epic space battles.
Do we know how many episode run it is? Does IMDb have anything?
I would assume it's close to the other seasons.
I can check.
And is that Star Destroyer Moff Gideon's?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it would make more sense.
He was in a light cruiser, right? Earlier.
Yeah. So IMDb has 8 episodes right now.
I mean, that's what all the other seasons have been.
Yeah, so it may just be placeholders. I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know, man. I'm really stoked. Like seeing more of this makes me really excited for more Mandalorian lore. Like we're gonna get more lore. We're gonna see Mandalore. Maybe punch into the Mandalorian Civil War more. You got to think at some point Boba's going to show up when they start talking about Mandalorian Civil War again, because it is confirmed that Jango fought in it. So,
unless he's just happy on Tatooine.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
he's trying to turn that corner.
No, I think Din did his. I think Book of Boba Fett exists for Din to have done a solid for Boba, and Boba to owe him.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't he already kind of owe Boba from End of Mandalorian Season 2?
A little bit, but he really went out of his way for Boba on this one, like in multiple things, you know. Like he basically said like it's a ride or die broship, you know.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I mean, Boba expected him to just like take off when he was like, well, we're pinned down, we're probably gonna die. And he's like, well, nope, here we go. This is the way, you know. And so I think Boba has like a very mutual respect for Mando as well.
He's got a budding criminal empire or legit empire. I don't know what it is that he's running there, but he's got Finnick and however you say his name, Christistan. Is that how? Christansen.
Yeah.
And his biker gang.
The mods.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what they're called?
Yeah, the Power Rangers.
on their scooters.
Yeah. Dude, that's gotta be for Grogu, man. Looking at this again, that I mean, look how small it is. That's gotta be for Grogu.
No, it still seems too tall.
Look how big his hands are on that helmet, though.
Right.
I mean, that's the armor, though, right? Like,
yeah, I feel like Grogu's head is the width of hands, essentially, like the height.
Yeah, I wonder if we get like
tall.
A picture anywhere with like his hands, with like Grogu, like holding him.
There's one coming up right here where he catches him. No, but that was upside down in a bad angle.
Yeah. And dude, just the armor just taking that dude out. Jeez. I'm trying to see there. Well, I mean, you can kind of see scale right there, his head compared to Mando.
Seems too short. Or like too not. It could be maybe there are other foundlings.
Yeah, maybe it's for like a younger foundling of some kind or something.
It seems like Grogu gets separated from Din as well because he's sitting there with Bo-Katan, and that goes back to the other trailer that we've seen where she's like you thought your father was the only Mandalorian or whatever.
Yeah. So it's. Oh, hold on a second. What was that ship he was flying away from right there?
I saw that.
That's Bo-Katan's, right? The one they got
Uh,
in season 2.
Did they take that
like
Imperial ship?
Yeah, that was part of her reason of wanting or requiring Mando to help, is because they're going to use it to take back Mandalore.
Okay.
And her efforts, and it looks like it's it, and something like hit it because it's smoking. He's like taking
now,
off.
did Mando
right there.
do that, or is he running away from it?
I don't know. I mean,
it seems like he's radicalized against Bo-Katan with the fact that he is trying to be back with the Way and is going to the waters beneath Mandalore to purge his sins or whatever.
yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that after meeting good Mandalorians that have taken their helmet off and not embraced the Way, quote unquote, like that he's so desperate to go back to it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just, there's a lot that we're going to see here. I think it just makes me excited. Makes me very excited.
February.
Yeah. So, but before that comes Andor, and we got some news with that. We basically found out that there is definitely going to be well, I shouldn't say definitely. I should say a possibility of seeing Darth Vader. That we see Darth Vader. There's for sure going to be some type of clones because Tim's going to be in it. He's been confirmed as an actor in Andor, so there's either going to be clones, maybe playing some of the clone troopers that we saw, maybe Cody, maybe Rex. Yeah, I mean,
the time frame makes sense for Rex because he would have been active in the Republic or the Rebellion at that point.
Yep. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for Rex because he's basically doing his thing, because we do see those clone troopers, so maybe it's just like a quick cameo of some kind, like we had in Kenobi,
Do we think Cody's in it as well? Right? Don't we see Cody live action in the Andor trailer? Or was that in?
That was in Bad Batch.
Okay.
Yeah, there for sure was in Bad Batch. Like there was Cody in Bad Batch, but
if Cody's in Bad Batch, that's immediately following Episode 3. So timeline, if Cody comes to his senses, Cody could be in this as well.
Yeah, for sure. Or he could be a baddie in this. Or could we see some Bad Batch live action?
I'm ready for that. I think that would be really cool.
Could we see someone from the Bad Batch in this? Like that
and that's Mon Mothma, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be legit, dude. If we get like Hunter or Wrecker or someone,
Hold on, was that was that a flashback to Kamino?
Let me pop
because Kamino's destroyed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try right here. See if I can stop it.
That looks like Kamino. Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like clones. Looks like some kind of internment camp, maybe. Maybe it's a prison of some kind.
Yeah, and it looks like it's higher rise than Kamino. Like, I don't know. Kamino had that stuff inside, not necessarily outside.
True.
Yeah.
But it's very Kamino-esque with the white jumpsuits and...
Yeah, it looks a lot like it, but...
Yeah, it could be wherever they're training stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be an academy, yeah.
Because there's definitely like... That looks
maybe
like...
live action... Well, that's not... Lothal doesn't have high rises like that, but Lothal was where one of the Imperial academies was, right?
I don't think there was an academy on Lothal, but there was a very strong garrison there.
Where did Ezra go undercover? What planet was that on? When he signed up for the academy and got Wedge and
that, I'm trying to remember because I just recently rewatched that again with the kids, but I don't remember. It was definitely not on Lothal.
Okay,
I think it was like some kind of spaceport or something like that. Well, maybe it was because he did
A lot of stuff
contact the
kept
Inquisitors.
coming back to Lothal. I mean,
Yeah. It might have been. There might have been an academy, like at least close to it, at least, or something like
Or
that.
like
because,
a station orbiting
Yeah.
it.
mhm.
yeah. Because there was a strong presence there. So, I mean, you never know. But I think that I don't want to get like all excited. But I mean, the fact that we do see the clones here, Tim has been confirmed to be in the show. I'm hoping it's not just a cameo.
He's
of
making his
Kenobi.
money now, like
Dude, he is living it up,
and
bro.
he's loving life too, because
Yes.
you saw him at Celebration. He was out there doing the
Haka,
tribal
dude.
the
Yeah.
Haka.
Yeah.
I mean, he's loving it.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just a cameo of the bunch of clones all together, or if we really will get to see like a Rex or a Cody or someone from the Bad Batch. Like, I mean, I think you're right, Nightcrawler. I think we need to see some Bad Batch in live action now. I mean, they've brought some of these other characters here.
All of Filoni's kind of creations have found their way to live action, or soon to find their way to live action. So eventually, maybe Bad Batch season 2 is just buying time to get the practicals made and and get them in there.
Yeah, I mean, God, dude. I mean, everything about this, like leading up to everything. We got Andor, we got Bad Batch, we got Mando season 3. It's just all of it just looks so stinking good, man. It's like,
and Andor already has a season 2.
Yeah,
Really?
it's
very promising.
It's confirmed, yeah, because this is over the course of a few years, right? And like up to like 5 years, I think, before 5 or 10 years before Rogue One, and then season 2 is going to be like 1 year before Rogue One, like leading up to it.
Dang, man.
So it's going to be establishing Andor as a character and what he's doing, I think, probably, and also finding his way into the rebellion, because the rebellion was just a bunch of different factions that were then united in the stuff that took place in Rebels, right? Like Rebels kind of brought those different factions together. So
right.
And who are those guys? Who, can you go back? Who are the blue officers? Like that doesn't seem Imperial.
Let's see.
It seems somewhat Imperial, but like, yeah, is it? Because one of those characters, I think, is one of the Andor Lego set is subpar in what it is, but I think one of these characters is in the Lego
maybe they're
set.
just locals.
Locals, or maybe like the first ISB agents.
I was just about to say at ISB.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is local.
Yeah, like local, or like you said, or ISB. I wonder if we'll see Saw Gerrera at all.
Dude, I mean, or Cal again, bringing up Cal again. I just want to see Cal. Come on. I just want to see Cal. Yeah, that looks like local, because ISB agents were usually in black. So I don't know.
We'll find out in a month and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, when does Andor officially come out?
August 31st.
31st.
Yep. And then 1 month, and then pretty much 1 month later, Bad Batch comes out on September 28th. So we'll have some overlap.
I wonder if they're doing that on purpose.
Or they just need to figure out everything in.
Yeah.
Although we have a little bit of a dead time for their shows. Because I think Ms. Marvel wraps up tomorrow.
Ms. Marvel's season finale is tomorrow, yeah.
I need to watch those. I haven't watched them.
They're good. They're fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what's between that and this.
Hopefully Ahsoka soon.
I think that's next year.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get it early next year, like January or February. So.
Well, because we have Mando's in February.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like you got to get Ahsoka before you got to get Mando. Like, or maybe they're just maybe they're gonna use Mando to like really push maybe some kind of like thing with Luke or something like that, and kind of start tying it all together.
I'm guessing Ahsoka is going to go completely on its own.
Yeah, just kind of
the hunt for Thrawn and Ezra.
Yeah,
and then maybe it'll circle back. But
do you think that's the future of Star Wars? Since we know we're not getting anything after the sequels, do you think it's going to be the stories of Ezra and Cal and
maybe,
and
unless they go back
Ahsoka?
to High Republic.
Yeah, go like back in time.
Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, do we know nothing's coming after Episode 9 chronologically?
I don't think there's
not those characters.
I don't think there's. I mean, there's the standalone from.
That's what I was wondering about.
Was
Taika.
it Taika?
Yeah.
Yeah, Taika. So, which
And
was
people are so like critical of him. Like, do you want to talk about this? People are
Yeah,
so
let's do
critical of him for. I haven't seen Love and Thunder yet. I
haven't either.
I saw it.
It's getting mixed. I've seen good and bad. I know Josh wasn't a fan of it. There's also the comment that was going around that he had a brain fart and said to Natalie Portman, "I'm working on a Star Wars thing. Have you ever wanted to be in a Star Wars movie?" And I saw the interview that he admitted that to somebody. He's not going to willingly admit that unless it was like an obvious brain fart. He's like, he's like, as soon as it came out of my mouth, he's like, I felt so stupid. But she's like, I already was in Star Wars. A few Star Wars movies. But I mean, he's writing this Star Wars movie. He's directing it. He's usually in his own movies in some capacity.
Or shows.
And he was IG-11. He directed two. He directed the finale and the first episode, right? I think
so. No, he didn't do the
season
finale.
1.
No,
I don't think he did.
Or maybe he did the penultimate. He did the second to last episode.
That
one where,
yeah.
But I mean, he didn't write those, so I guess people got to take it with a grain of salt. But I would think that anybody right now doing anything in the Star Wars verse is going through creative visionary Filoni, who's kind of been elevated to that position immediately under Kathleen Kennedy, because we know she doesn't necessarily have the vision to keep stuff coherent and on a path, and I think Filoni does. Favreau, I think, is mainly show running and less. I think he wrote some of the first season, but I don't know how much, like, other than kind of helping keep stuff on the path. I think Dave Filoni has kind of become the de facto keeper of Star Wars land for how stuff is going to move forward. So I would think he would vet it considerably, but I don't know. I don't know where in the timeline this is going to possibly fall of what he's making.
Yeah, he did direct the finale of season 1, but that's it.
Okay.
I mean, he's the one who put that scene in there with the two stormtroopers chatting with
with
Grogu, and
that was great
for their aim.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, I liked Thor: Love and Thunder. I thought that it at one point I was kind of worried that it was going to be a little too much comedy, but once you really got to the meat of the story and kind of toward the end, it was like, okay, there's the action. It's like, dang, here we go, which was pretty epic. So, I mean, I've liked his stuff. I don't see anything wrong with his stuff. So I'm pretty confident he'll do pretty well with it. I think the only thing that he may struggle with Star Wars is that sometimes if there's too much comedy, like fans, I think in general are like, okay, come on. Like, I think he can't go as far as he did with Ragnarok or Love and Thunder,
Yeah. And it won't be as much of a comedy or anything.
Yeah. But hey, I also wanted to ask anybody that's listening to us to just tweet at us or just mention to us what you've been reading in Star Wars, because a friend of ours, Servant 117, actually recommended this book and he gave us a donation on one of our live streams. So I had to go pick it up. It's the Star Wars Visions Ronin. It's the actual novelization of it. I'm going to get it in pretty close for you guys to see. And then let me let me open this up without losing my spot here. But the inside art is just awesome. And then it has this that can actually come out. I haven't taken it out yet, but it has this artwork right here that you can actually take out and hang in as a poster. And then here's
That's
the
pretty
other
cool.
side. The other side of it. Right. Well, maybe if I can get it. Here's the other side of it. And it just looks so
that
stinking
was
awesome.
the best episode out of Visions.
I think that one and the Ninth Jedi, but
I like the Ninth Jedi better.
yeah. But I am, I'm pretty good ways in the. Well, let me see if I can. Pretty good ways into the book, and I've been loving it. And I've also there is a series going, and I highly recommend it because I've only read the first two, digital on the first, and I got the physical on the second. The new Obi-Wan comic, which this lightsaber is actually green. It's just screened out, so for Qui-Gon. But this is really good and gives a lot of great backstory on Obi-Wan and his time on Tatooine, kind of by himself. And there's some pretty awesome moments in issue number 2. I think issue number 3 just came out or is about to come out. But yeah, those are like the stuff I'm reading. So if you guys that are listening to us or follow us on Twitter or in the Discord, let us know what you're reading, man, because I'm really curious. Kind of because this is kind of a little bit of a dry spell in between shows and things like that. But yeah, this book, I love this quote from within the book too. So I am my own blood, and these are my own people. Never again do I serve the Jedi. Never again do I yield to their lords. But yeah, this book is really good. Go check it out.
Does it give a timetable on? I mean, it's non-canonical, right? But like,
yeah, it doesn't give you like when it happens in the Star Wars universe, but it does start pre that episode in Visions and works you to that, and it gets into it pretty quick. So you're basically dropped into a story, kind of like a cold open, where he's just kind of wandering aimlessly through the mountains. Well, not aimlessly, but wandering through the mountains, and gives you a little bit of intrigue. Like he hears a voice in his head that tries to direct him to do things. He has the kyber crystals in his sleeve chest here that it like almost weighs him down. He basically has no money, no ship. All he has is his B unit droid that he has with him, and his 2 lightsabers that are,
permanently activated, right?
Yeah, one of them is activated and can't unactivate. That's why he has a scabbard. And then he has the other shorter blade. And that apparently is like a sign of a Jedi Master. So, which is interesting because he's a Sith. And one of the things he says in Visions is a Jedi Knight, or it's a sign of a Jedi Knight. Sorry, not a Master. Maybe a Master. I can't remember. But he's a Jedi. And he's like, unfortunately, I'm not a Jedi. Which is interesting because some of the stuff that's happening in the book. I'm not going to go too much more into it. But yeah, go pick up this comic, guys. Obi-Wan. It's set right before the show, and go check out this book because it's really good.
We've got that book with Luke and Lando coming out soon too, right?
It's already out.
Where they go to Exegol?
June 28th.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Sith, I believe it's called, or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw it at Barnes and Noble, and I was going to pick it up, but I didn't end up picking it up. So, yeah. But that's all I got, guys. Y'all reading anything?
I've got a friend who was able to get their hands on a copy of the Padawan book coming out at the end of the month. So I've started that. So that's Obi-Wan as a Padawan right after he joined Qui-Gon.
Dude.
But it's got some interesting stuff. Obi-Wan was very unsure of himself early on.
Oh, yeah.
And they've already in chapter 2 connected back to the Old Republic.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm going to have to read that then.
They talk about the big thing that happens at the beginning of the first Old Republic book. The hyperspace.
Yeah, the thing that's in the comics.
That's a reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The space station. Yeah.
Yeah. So
interesting.
It'll be fun. It'll be a fun read. And I think a fairly quick one.
Well, right on.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know this is going to be a shorter episode because we kind of said it at the start. So for all you guys that were watching, we're kind of like, we go in ebbing and flows for the podcast. It depends on if we get Star Wars content because we don't want to just like have a show with nothing really we want to say. Maybe we'll get a few guests on and talk some Star Wars with some guests. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching us. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're watching or listening on Spotify, you can see us when we record this live. So thank you guys so much. And remember,
the Force will be with you always.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, Master.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with us all.